Hello. You have made
What's
it.
up?
Oh, nothing. Oh, it's been interesting today.
Oh, that sounds bad.
No, it's been something, but I have you heard from Aaron?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I just texted him and he didn't respond. So that means I need to Snapchat him. Hold on.
Probably. Because I don't know. Yeah.
He's kind of gone radio silence for a little bit. That's a yo.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't heard. He called me last week on one day, at the end of the week. And then I'm going to go ahead and say Thursday. But I don't.
Okay.
That was it. So last I heard of him. So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see what he says. Yeah, I don't know. I've been I was in Colombia today. At a meeting for some restoration. Oh, Aaron just said he woke up from a nap. What the? Woke up from a nap at 8. Oh my.
You know, these things happen.
Yeah, sure. You just okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Your thing sounds crazy. It's like talking. It sounds like you're talking into a cup. It keeps like zooming in and out. It's weird.
Oh, is it because I may be moving too much? I'm moving my head back and forth right now. Is that the sound?
Yes. Yes, that would be it. That would be the swaying of the, yes. It's like I need going to the left and then coming like a Doppler. Yeah. Doppler effect.
Okay. So is this sounding better if I just maintain like this? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm also having to do this in the dining room. So it may be, let me know if it gets boomy.
Okay. Maybe that's it too. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure it sounds a little weird because I'm talking and I can hear a slight echo in this room.
Yes.
Okay. I may try and devise does this sound better if I talk like that? I don't know. I'm still working this out. I have no idea what I'm doing. Have I mentioned that?
That's okay. I don't either. I just I'm going for it. So
cool. I'm trying to get like trying to devise a little sound shield right now for me to talk into. Cocoon.
Put a blanket over your head and be like, hello.
Well,
the cave of silence.
I do. There are people that I know that listen to this podcast and they will get under the covers in like a hotel room and podcasts like that.
Oh,
so, anyway,
I mean, whatever works, but
yeah, right. Okay. So yeah, I was in Colombia for a meeting today. So had an hour drive out there, and meeting was at 9:30, and this is for we had some restoration projects going down on Shoal Creek, and and it's with all the mine tailings and stuff down there, and we were meeting with Fish and Wildlife Service and USGS and a couple other partners to figure out where we want to spend money and how we're going to prioritize it. And this is like the 7th meeting that these people have had, and it's only the 2nd one that I've been to, but it was like nobody remembered what had happened in the previous meetings. So, where we had left it last time was my coworker and I were going to make all of these maps in ArcGIS and overlay all this crazy data so that they could visually see where bad places were and possible sources of stressors and where fish were and blah, blah. So we made all these maps, and I spent, I don't know, weeks on this as my only project. We emailed them out to everybody and we said, review these and let us know what we're missing. I had to read through, no joke, like 5 inches of reports because they were like, oh, we have all of this information of which streams are impacted. And I was like, great, send me the data layer. And they're like, oh, it's in this report from 2002 in the middle of this PDF. And it was literally a sampling site PS 104.9 downstream 14.8 miles was still above background levels of tolerant It's like above background levels for human use, so that stretch is impacted. So I had to go on the program and measure out 14.8 or whatever miles downstream of that, digitize that, and I had to digitize all of these layers from a verbal description from point to point. I did all this crap, sent out the email. It's radio silence from everybody, and nobody responded. Nobody said anything back, and we were like, okay, well, I guess this is fine. We get there today, and it was like this is the first time they had seen any of these maps. And they were like, oh, where'd this come from? And what about this? And I was like, that's why we sent this to you 2 months ago, so you could do this question. And they ended up not getting used because they just went off on another tangent, and it was just, So,
I mean, yeah, that's how, I don't know if you've ever been to a meeting before, but most of the time that's what happens is you say, oh, we're going to talk about all this. And you send out an agenda, and then nobody reads it. And then they get to the meeting, and then they're very confused about what's happening. It's just kind of how it works in general. I don't.
Yeah, it was.
There's usually, at least the ones that we have at work, it's like a handful of people like print off the agenda and like are ready to write upon it, and everyone else is like, "Sup? What's happening?"
Show up, and that's what most of these people did. And
I mean, ours are like low key. It's just like a staff meeting, so it's not really the same thing. It's not really the same like importance, but still kind of the same attitude of what.
And these are like,
where am I?
These are lifelong career professionals at the federal level, and they're just like, hey, cool, yeah. And what was really funny is all we were needing was like the one goal of today was how are we going to define what a good site is? What is a good habitat site in Shoal Creek? And right, that's
step one. Get more than one data set. So yes, we have an data point. Right, get out of here. That's not helpful to anybody. Nobody wants one data point. What is that?
Right. And so it was a lot of, good for what? For human use, for biotic use, for stream function. And then it was stepping down from there. And honest to goodness, the list that we came up I could have brainstormed that idea 4 months ago if you asked me what makes a good habitat. Is like, oh yeah, don't let it be near a CAFO, and it should be stable, and there should be trees.
It should be stable.
I'm like banging my head against the wall. Are you kidding me? It's taken this long, and they're still. It's taken that long to get to that point, and it's whatever. It's a process, and the process has to work. So we did that, and drove back home, and it was just I sat all day long, which is never fun.
That's gross. I'm pretty sure my 6th graders could come up with more interesting things than that in like 20 minutes. Not kidding. 20 minutes, and they'd be like, boom, yo.
It is so bad. Hey, it's so bad. Aaron, do you hear us?
Hello.
Hey. Aaron. It's an airman.
I'm here.
Victory has been achieved.
I was like, I totally have time to take a nap. I will set my alarm for 7:30, and then alarm never went off. So apologies for the tardiness.
That's all right. Maybe it's my end. It sounds weird because you sound weird too. Maybe it's not just Colin.
Uh-oh.
What has happened? My stuff. Oh no.
Are you on headphones?
Yes.
Huh. Brandon is saying that we're sounding like we're in a can, and it's kind of whoa, 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 whoa.
Yes, that's basically it. And then it did it while you were doing that, and that was awful.
No. Sorry. Sent Brandon into a dry heaves.
I don't know what has happened, but we'll see. I don't know.
All right, well,
it's really bizarre. I didn't do anything different. I just plugged it back in and hit the button,
and away we go.
Silly technology. Why?
Well, Megan and I have been gym members for 4 days.
Have been what?
Gym members. Members of a gym for 4 days.
How's that going?
Well, I've done CrossFit for 4 days in a row, and I am
Oh wow, I'm surprised. Usually official gym members have been members for 4 days and have gone once. So this is exciting. You're already ahead of the curve. This is good news.
It was funny. Megan said, we wanted to get a little better, and we signed up, and Megan was like, so what are your expectations for, like, how many days are you going to go? And I was like, like 2 days a week. It's probably good. It's probably a healthy start.
It's a week.
Megan was like, I'm going to go 5 days a week. I'm going 5. And so I was like, oh, okay. That sounds cool. That's cool.
My other question, follow-up question to this joining a gym, obviously has to be, why does the man that rides his bike literally everywhere
I was about to
need to go to a gym? It's not for the cardio, I guess. He's powerlifting. It's going to be powerlifting.
It is. So yes. I mean, part of it is we live literally so close to where I work, not to, jeopardize my OPSEC here, but it's a 7-minute bike ride if I don't hit the lights. And when I was in Texas, it was a 15 to 20 minute hard push one way. And so I'm literally doing half the amount of biking every day that I was before.
You just need a longer route. You just go around. More circuitous. Less direct.
The other part of it is road safety and the lack of things like street lights in the city. That makes it really hard. And my route is also designed for when it's snowing, because the route that I take is treated and plowed, so I can still ride my bike most of the time.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But there are still times where, so it's been cut in half, and then there are times where I'm like, I run upstairs with Noah on my hip, and I get up to the top, and I'm like, why am I? Oh no. And I've ragged on CrossFit so much because it's so ridiculous, and some of the people's mindsets are just like, I can't even. And and I mean, you guys probably could tell I'm not really a gym rat, so I'm hanging out with some people who I would normally hang out with.
Yeah, I was gonna say my best friend at work, she is like an insane exercise person. Like, it's crazy. And so sometimes she talks about it, I'm just like, why would you do that? How do you not just become killed doing this? Because she does CrossFit sometimes, other times she does other things. She's like runs crazy long races.
Mm-hmm.
Like last year she ran like a 27-mile off-road race.
Nice.
Like Arkansas. It's like, what?
It's terrifying.
What? It's terrifying.
Yeah. Well, and like, this is the people who run this gym, they also teach the CrossFit class. And the guys almost, they're late 40s, almost 50, and they still, both he and his wife, go and do CrossFit competitions around the state, around the country, and they're pretty intense about it. And
I didn't even know that existed.
Oh yeah, go watch. There are a couple. In case you're wondering, there's some documentaries on the CrossFit Games on Amazon Prime.
CrossFit, what?
They have some of those on ESPN. Like, they'll show the extreme CrossFit, or sometimes the what is it called? Or it's like an all-day competition where there's like they do chin-ups and pull-ups, and then the
CrossFit Games is a week long.
Oh, that one.
Where they do three workouts every single day, morning, afternoon, and evening.
Yeah.
And it is the insane stuff, like run a mile, do 100 air squats, climb this rope 5 times, do this stuff, blah, 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 and try and do it as fast as you humanly can. And yeah, you can watch this people, and it's really insane. And so we should the first we signed up.
Why would you even? My question is, how is that like a sport you watch? Right? Like, I understand. So, like, I understand what. So I like to watch like the World's Strongest Man.
Sure.
Right? That's interesting, but that makes that's at least from my point of view, that's like something that you can watch because it's more, I don't know, it's just more entertaining. Like, oh,
Sure.
how far can this guy farmers carry these giant cinder block things, right?
Yeah,
Or how fast can you put up the Atlas stones?
sure.
That makes sense, right? Watching somebody do pull-ups and jumping jacks, how is that like watchable?
Yeah, well,
A lot of
but
times
imagine.
they're timed.
Yeah,
Like
well,
that's how the competition starts. Is that either they're timed or they have to do like certain match things like that during. And there's like different teams for it too.
Teams? What?
no, not in the one I watched. It was all an individual sport, and but part of it is too. You've got like 20 people on the field at one time, so there's a lot of action and a lot of movement. And what's really cool though is that they hold the nighttime events on a tennis court. So like the big Wimbledon courts where it's really steep on all the sides.
Yeah.
And so basically, if you could imagine a weird jungle gym contraption obstacle course in the middle, and just filled with a stadium of in the tennis courts, and everybody watching that's pretty cool to watch. But
That's insane.
yeah, and these
Oh.
so and I show up, and it's obviously everyone who's there has been there a long time, and
Well, yeah.
and because not many people come, a lot of people come and then they leave immediately, and so they know everybody. And the thing that's hard for me is to get around all the acronyms and all of the weird kind of workouts that they do. And so I come in and there's literally just 3 numbers and then 3 words on the board that don't mean anything to me. And that's the entire workout that we're supposed to do. And I'm just like, so what's that? And, they come over and they're like, oh, so, this is just like when you do this kind of lift. And I was like, okay, step 1, I have never done anything before. And then they looked at me and I said, no, I mean, never. The last time I held like a weightlifting bar was for a summer PE class my freshman year of college that I was not putting a lot of effort into.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's like, I don't know. Like, so what? Again, that's like powerlifting makes sense to me because it's like, oh, this person wins because he lifted the most, right? It's kind of at least in my mind, it's a clear delineation of who is the victor.
Well, so
how does one become the victor of a CrossFit game?
Okay, so like tonight's workout, the warm-up was, what was the warm-up? So the workout of the day was we were supposed to do 100 of these weird weird lifts where you go from the floor, you do this weird flip and land on your shoulders. You're supposed to do that 100 times. And then you were supposed to do 50 double unders, which are with a jump rope. So every time you jump up, the rope goes underneath you twice.
Oh, girls.
And then you were supposed to do 50 of those weights, that weird lift. And then you're supposed to do 25 of I'm sure my numbers got messed up, of the double unders. And the first person to finish that set would win.
Oh my goodness. What on earth?
Right.
Oh.
Right.
Wow.
So the warm up to this was I was supposed to do, I didn't do nearly any of these. We're supposed to do 3 wall walks. You're supposed to start with 3 wall walks, which is where you put your feet up against the base of the wall, get in a push-up position, and then walk your legs up the wall behind you as you push your arms towards you to the extent where you're supposed to end up with your nose touching the wall and your feet above your head. You're supposed to do that maneuver 3 times. And then we had to go do 15 sit-ups, inverted sit-ups where you're like laying at an angle. And then we were supposed to go do 20 air squats. And you had to do that as many times as you could in 15 minutes. For 15 minutes. So you're supposed to do that over and over and over until 15 minutes ran out.
Oh.
And so the winner of that would be whoever finished the most sets.
Oh.
And so
I'm gonna take a nap now, man. Get out. That's terrible.
I pulled up the CrossFit Games 2020 website because there's individual events and then there's team events, and like first cut 4 rounds, 400-meter run, 3 legless rope climbs, 7 squat snatches at 185 pounds, and you have 20 minutes to do like all of that. And then like the second cut is like 800 meters, 800 meter rows, 66 kb jerks,
Yeah, those aren't
and
fun.
then 132 feet handstand walk, and you have 10 minutes to do all that.
Yep.
And that's just in like that's in one day, and
No.
then each different. So that starts Thursday, and then Friday is like the ruck, and then there's like the sprint couplet, and then so everything is timed, and you have to do all that in a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like a weird heavy ball pull thing. Has a picture of it, but doesn't really explain what it is.
Oh, so a few years ago, this was one of them. Imagine a few years ago, this was one of them. So in a tennis court, you've got the stairs that go up from the court all the way up to the top of the bleachers. Imagine on one side at the very top of the bleachers is a stack of sand-filled duffel bags. And they start at like 25 pounds and they go up to 50 pounds. You have to carry them, and there's like 10 of them. You have to carry those down the stairs, over the wall, down into the tennis court, load them into a wheelbarrow it across the tennis court, then unload them, lift them above that dividing wall, up way above your head, and jump up, and then carry those back up the stairs onto the other side. And the first person to do that one.
No, that's awful.
And they do this. They do this thing called the Murph, which is they do it every. I'm going to get this wrong. It's to dedicate to soldiers. They start out they do a 1 mile run, then they do 100 pull-ups, they do 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and then they do another mile run, all in a 20-pound vest or full body armor.
See, every time this event is on TV, it always happens like when I'm at like a restaurant. Like, man, that looks intense.
Yeah. So
exactly. My favorite thing to do when watching other people do extreme sports is eat cheeseburgers. Perfect.
Stuff my face.
I like it.
Yeah. So it was funny.
Yeah.
The first day I showed up, and the lady was very nice. We've actually sat their dogs before, so we knew them. And she comes over and she's explaining to me the workout of the day and blah blah. And that day it was 30 minutes, as many times as you could do. It was like a mile run. I don't remember. It was terrible. I didn't finish it, but she was like, now a lot of guys come in here and they feel like they work really hard and they really push themselves too hard to keep up with the other girls in the class. And I said, let me stop you right there. That won't be a problem, because as soon as anything hurts, I'm going to stop. And because I don't have that mentality of like, you want me to do 22? I'm going to do 23. I'm like, you want me to do 22? It started hurting at 7. So I kind of slowed down and took like a 15-minute break and got some water. And then I did one more and I left. So
there you go. That sounds better. Man, no.
But
I had that. I signed up with a friend when I was still in college for a spin class.
Yep.
And they were telling me the premise of it. It's like, I've ridden a bike before. I think I'll be okay. What I did not know, it was a full hour of just continual riding, but at different levels. And I think I was gassed within like the first 10 minutes.
Sure. Yeah.
And because they play modern, music. That's kind of like the tempo setter, and they do like all these things where increase the level, stand up and pedal, and like all this stuff.
Yep.
And I was like, this is not exactly what I thought it would be. I thought we were just gonna ride on bikes, and I was extremely misinformed by signing up for this stupid thing. So I did like a month, but like not like every day kind of thing. I did like every other day, and I was still dead. Like, and this is kind of about the same time where I attempted to ride my bike to school, and I lived, several miles away from campus. But, it was a very easy road. I was on that bike that I had before it got stolen. Yeah. And I could totally do this. And then like day 2, I was like, I have some reservations about this. This is not exactly what I thought it'd be. And there's some songs that play to this day that I'm like, oh, that song.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're gonna listen to this song and pedal to this beat, and it's like, oh, this song's really fast.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only 5 minutes long. Oh, okay, so I feel your pain of like, oh, I could totally. This sounds easy, and then it's like, oh no, that's no.
Oh no, I didn't think it'd be easy at all. I knew this was going to hurt.
I knew it was going to be the worst.
At no point did I have any confidence in being able to do anything. So every time I've gone, it's been, I look at the board and it's been like, do 20 of this, do 15 of this, do 8 of this. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to do like 11 and...
Oh, yeah. Will anybody notice if I do less than that?
Well, and they tell you like, reduce it. And because my goal is not, like, a lot of people go in there and they go, I'm going to do maximum effort until I literally can't do anything. And that doesn't sound like any fun. So I'm doing more like, I want to finish the number of rounds that I have to. So I'm going to do what I need to do that.
And also not die.
And also not die. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I told someone that the other day where they came up and they were like, don't feel like you have to go too fast on the lifts. And I was like, don't worry, because I don't want to die.
No problem.
Oh yeah,
I like my shoulders where they are. Thank you.
I know. Oh yeah. 2 days ago, we did this thing where we did these. So we got on a pull-up bar, but the pull-up bar is one. It's the same pull-up bar for everybody. So if you are 5 foot or if you are my height, you do the same pull-up bar. So these things are high. Oh. So I jump up and my feet are dangling like 2 feet below me. And
good grief.
Right, yeah, these things are tall. And what you were supposed to do, again, I did not do this, is you're supposed to hang there and then lift your knees so that they touched your elbows and then touched your shins to the bar that you're holding your hands onto. And you're supposed to do that like 40 times. And then you were and then when you were done with that, you were supposed to do like the box jumps where the box is like at my shins and you're supposed to jump on top of it, do that like 9 times. And then we're supposed to do like 20 burpees or something. But the burpees are not just up and down. You got to jump up and then shuffle over to the one side, then shuffle back and then jump back down. So you're constantly moving.
Yeah.
So it's kind of modified. And this is the funny thing. So we did the weird pull-ups, which I didn't do. I just did knee up. I just did knees as high as I could. And I talked to the guy beforehand. I was like, how do I modify this? So because I'm going to die. And he goes, oh, okay, just do knees. So I did, you're supposed to do those, the burpees, and then the box. And that's the day I walked in and there were these weird acronyms. There's 3 acronyms that represented those 3 workouts. And then above those were written 21, 15, and 9. So in my head, I went, oh, I do 21 of the knee things. I do 15 of the burpees, and I do 9 of the box jumps, right? Because there are 3 numbers and 3 workouts. Well, I don't do all of the knee highs. I do like 4 burpees, and I am just dying. And then I go to the box jumps, and I finish those, and I'm like, "Whoo, that was a really tough workout. I didn't give everything all done." And I look around, and everyone is still working out, and I'm like, there's no way that I finished before all these people. And what I didn't realize is that it was actually 3 rounds where you do 21 of all of those, and then you do 15 of all of them, and then you do 9 of all of them.
Oh no. Oh no, that's awful. Literally the worst thing ever.
And I just stood there like, and I couldn't help but laugh because I was like, oh no, I am going really.
Gosh, what?
And the guy came over, the owner, he was like, what number are you on? And I was like, I didn't even do 1 correctly.
1. And I'm done. I'm out.
It kind of sounds like when I was a freshman, when we had football camp, and the coaches are like, all right, seniors, you take charge of like the workouts, and you guys come up with whatever. And so like the seniors would write like senior level workouts, like clean this amount this many times, but being a small, meek, weak, feebled freshman, like excuse me, gentlemen, we can't do half of that. And I just remember getting yelled at by a lot of the coaches, like, how come you guys can't do this? Like, well, because we don't know what that is, and we can't do the same amount of weight that these guys are doing. And they're like, oh, that's right, you're freshmen. But yeah, they had like this huge whiteboard and had like all these workouts. Like, we don't know what any of those are. And us like in the corner of the after they renovated the high school, or renovated the workout room, just like some of the kids on their phones trying to Google what some of these workouts were. And yeah, I feel the same thing. It's like, oh, I could do this. And then you look over and it's like 10 reps of 20. Like, why?
Again, I was under no delusion that I would be able to do any of these things. I was just trying not to die.
That's the end goal every time. Do not die.
Yeah. So
it's a good goal. It's a good goal to have.
But yeah, it's been interesting, and I've hurt every day this month, all 4 days, which is fine. I was told it goes away eventually. I don't believe them.
Allegedly. I mean, unless you hurt yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's a distinct possibility of
well, and that's the
becoming
thing.
permanently injured, right?
I was supposed to do these cleans or whatever they were, and which is a weird bar lift. I don't even know. And we're supposed to do 50 of those or however many of those, and I was going like really slow. And one of the guys came over and he was like, "You gotta pick it up," and he was trying to show me how to do it faster. And I was like, I don't know how to do this right in a slow manner. There's no way I'm about to try and double my effort to increase the pace, because I will break my back. And the leader, the person who was leading it, came over and she was kind of giving me some coaching on it, and she was like, that looks good. And I stopped and I was like, should my back be hurting? And she was like, where does it hurt? And I was like, at the very base of my back whenever I'm standing upright. And she was like, no, that's not good.
No.
And I was like, I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and just slow down a little bit. and she, figured out that I wasn't doing something, it's like hip thrust or whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because that's one where you have to like drive your hips forward to lift. Like it's like you're not lifting straight up.
Yeah,
you have to like, it's kind of like a weird push your hips.
You're kind
of forward to like leverage it out, right?
And here's the other thing that like conceptually I can figure out what I need to do.
Well, yeah, but while you're doing it, you can't see yourself, so it's like
while you're doing it, and then it's the weird body motions that you have to do, because those cleans, it's not just a straight up. It is like you're throwing your hips, you're jumping a little bit, you're doing weird stuff, you're arching, all this stuff. And I don't know if you guys know this about me or not, but I'm not the most coordinated person in the world, and so
we're aware.
This is asking a lot of me to be like, move your feet and your hips and also your elbows, and don't forget to bring forward your shoulders. And I'm like, one thing at a time. Yeah, they were doing these weird pull-ups the other day, where when I think of a pull-up, you put your arms above your head, you raise up to your chin, and then you go down. Now imagine if someone said, you have to do 30 of those in 5 minutes.
Nope.
What would you do to get that done? You would. What they do is, it's one fluid motion. Once you get started in this, once you go up, you're like throwing your body in the serpentine manner to go up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down to get into this rhythm where you're just constantly. It is the most bizarre thing that I've ever seen. And I don't know if that's going to happen because I just couldn't figure out how they were throwing their body. Like they were literally, when they were using their downward forward swing to on the back swing, S shape up into the. I'm over there just being like, oh
yeah, no,
up and down.
My shoulder is hurting right now just thinking about that. Like I can't.
I know.
Like my shoulder hurts. Like I'm thinking about doing that, and my shoulder is just like, nope, you can't do that. Sorry, not happening.
They did a headstand push up the other day, and I was like,
my shoulder says no to that one too, for sure.
I threw my flag, and I was like, I can't do that. How do I modify that? And they showed me weird, like, put my feet on the box and kind of make an L with my legs and my torso and then do a push up that way.
Yeah, no.
They're like, once you get stronger, and even that, I was like, oh no, this is really, this feels really bad.
Yeah, no, I'm out. So my only, like, I feel okay that I don't really work out, ever, because last year we were at the park for school, like a field trip. We went to the park and they have one of those like little worky outy that has like the dip bars and the pull up bars and the the rope climb and stuff. And my friend who I was telling you about, who's my next door neighbor teacher, she's all like fitness master, right? Her official title at school is wellness champion. It's an official, it's her official role. And alongside teacher, she's also the school wellness champion. I climbed the rope and she did not. So boom, winning. That's what
There you go.
I figure. Okay, I'm still good. I'm all right. I'm all right. My workout routine currently consists of not eating all the pizza at once.
There you go.
Tonight I failed at that one. I was like, no, I'm hungry and I'm eating all this. I don't care.
Starving.
And like that's kind of it. Like maybe I just want to eat all the food at the same time.
Sure. That's a good goal
got
there.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. With the workout start kitchen, that's a thing. I heard someone say that once, and so I'm going with that, and I'm just skipping the rest of it because I can't be bothered.
It's the first step that counts.
Yeah, we did a. We're gonna do some challenges at school for that kind of stuff, like whatever, like walking stuff. We did that last year, so I walked a bunch last year in the spring.
Yeah,
a year ago.
There you go.
Look at that. Look how fit I am. Look at
Mastery of. Look at me.
Ta-da. I walked some laps at recess
last year. Oh yes,
last school year. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys in elementary school ever have to do the?
Yes.
The what?
I'm trying to think of what we called it, but it was
the pacer.
Oh god, yeah, that.
Oh, I didn't like that. That was terrible.
The pacer.
Or it beeped at you. You had to run faster, like across the gym or whatever.
You have a certain amount of time to get from one half of the gym to the other.
Yeah, in my memory, that elementary school gym was enormous. Like it probably isn't now if I went back and looked at it, but in my mind as a small child, it was like the longest thing ever. Like, I'm never gonna make it over there.
Nope.
And I didn't.
But like in elementary school or middle school, I think elementary school obviously, where like once a week we didn't have recess. We had to go walk the track, or at least do some sort of like field activity where we were like constantly moving. I was like, isn't that just recess? But they built like a track behind the school at the elementary school, or I guess whenever they moved things around. And once a week, we had to go after lunch. We had to go out and walk the track. And every lap we did, if we did 4 laps in a thing, which would be a mile, we got a little foot sticker, and like we kind of raced each class, and like who could do the most miles per thing. And I just remember like, oh man, I'm going to be doing this all the time. And about like week 3, I was like, 2 laps is fine.
Quick clarification. Was it a sticker in the shape of a foot or a sticker that they placed on
you put on your foot? Yeah, that was my question.
No, it was a little bitty sticker in the shape of a foot.
I see. Okay.
And I guess you could still put that on your foot too.
A foot sticker.
You did good walking. Here's a sticker. Like,
okay.
That's the coolest sticker ever.
I can walk.
So last year we decided, because we're insane people, that we were going to set like a goal for the students to walk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, oh man, what's a big number? And we just did. So we settled on 24,901, because that is the circumference of the earth in miles. And so we challenged them to walk laps at recess, and we kept running totals, right? And every Friday we all came into my room and we like plotted on like Google Earth where we were.
Oh, that's so cool.
Like how far we'd gone. And then they did like looked up relax about wherever we happened to be that week. Or
Oh,
some week I stretched it a little bit because we were like in the middle of the Iranian desert. Like, okay,
Right.
well, this is not cool. Or like the Pacific Ocean. Like, okay,
Sure.
well, we're like, what island can we like zigzag to marginally to get? Like,
Right.
but it was kind of cool. It was we call it the walk around the world thing, and it was pretty fun. It took us like forever, like
Yeah.
the whole second semester almost. But
Yeah. No, I like
I
that.
had some kids that were like way into it. They were like, no,
Oh, I bet.
I'm doing this. I'm
Ta-da.
walking like a million laps.
Oh, yeah. So the one thing that's nice about this place is that it does offer childcare, so we can drop the kids off and Megan can go work
nice.
out. She can go work out in the middle of the day, and not have to worry about me or the kids. They can go play.
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't think enough gyms do that. Right? That's not like
Right.
a thing that a lot of them do. Some of them do. I mean, they used to do that. I seem to recall being a youth and going to some sort of gym while like mom worked out and I was like in some playroom. I
Oh my
remember that was a thing that happened. But like, I don't think you don't hear about it very much, right? You have to like, even like the Y, like they don't watch like little kids most of the time. They're like,
Right.
no, if you're a medium child, you can go over there and take care of yourself. But
And
like,
go go work out.
yeah, like so that's good that they actually have that service. It's super handy.
Mm-hmm. And like Megan says when she goes sometimes she'll go at like 9 or 10 in the morning or after the kids wake up from their naps, and it is packed in there. And the workout, the class is full that she's in, and the kids, there's like 15 or 20 kids in the little play area for them. So,
Really?
oh yeah, there's a lot of kids in there, and a lot of that's because if the stay at home moms, if they've got 2 kids and they go, like us, that immediately jacks it up pretty high. And if the class that is teaching, if it's whatever workout class that's in, there's 15 moms in there, they each bring a kid. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, but I don't know. I didn't know that many people would be working out at 10 o'clock. Like that's
It's pretty crazy. It's
interesting.
yeah. So
I mean, I don't know how many people I don't go to the gym, so I don't know if that's irregular or not. But I'm definitely teaching at 10 o'clock, so I wouldn't know anyway. But like,
yeah, that's true. I'll be going.
The Colvin at Oklahoma State, the big workout area. There's a very small population, weirdly, of people that went and actually like worked out. But I just remember a lot of people going for like the recreation stuff, like the swimming. They had a weird giant area for like ping pong and like table tennis and all that kind of stuff. And I just remember like seeing a lot of people doing that. And I was like, is this a being my first time there on campus and going through this, like people don't work out. Like, oh, they do, but most people just come for the recreation. And people like the gym was open like 24/7, and there'd be people there like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, why?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's a little intense. I don't know.
Yeah, this gym opens at 4:30, and their first class that you can take is at 5, and then it's like 5, 6, 7, 8. I think there's one at 9 and 10, but each class is something different.
Well, yeah, they have different. Yeah,
that
makes sense.
Yeah,
wouldn't be like the same class like just 15 times a day. That'd be weird.
Although I think the 6 and 7 o'clock hours are both CrossFit for some reason.
Well, that makes sense because that's kind of like a lot. That's like before work, right? That's a lot of people go and do that before work. Because like, yeah, my friend, she always wakes up at like she's always like riding my case. Yeah, I woke up at 4:30 today. Like, good for you. I don't know. Stop.
Yeah.
Like, I woke up at 4:30 to go work out. I'm like, what? Why? No.
I had a lady I used to work with.
Like, I didn't go to bed until midnight. I'm not getting up at 4 o'clock. I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah, crazy.
Her main goal was to run a marathon in every single state. And I used to work with her at Eskimo Joe's, and so I'd be bartending, and she would just be like sprinting around doing like all these things. I was like, ugh. But yeah, she is like 12 states down, but yeah, she wanted to do a marathon in every single state, and she gets up every morning at like 4 o'clock and just like runs, 2 or 3 miles. And then whenever she gets home every day, she runs 2 or 3 miles. I'm like, oh, that's a lot of running. And I ran,
and really 12 down already. That's a pretty good ratio she's got going on right now. Because that's
Right.
And so she'll post pictures on Instagram or Facebook of like, oh, heading to another state to do a marathon. I was like, that's a really good goal to have. That's a very like genetically based goal. It's like, I'm going to run a marathon in every state. And I was like, I get to like,
I imagine it's pretty, like for goals like that, like the first few are probably not too bad, right?
Yeah.
But then you have to like come up with a reason to go, especially because like around here, you don't have to go super far to get to other states.
Yeah.
Right.
But then whenever you start your burnout and you got to get to like Vermont, like, well,
Yeah. Then you got travel time.
you
and
kind of
got all sorts
also,
of stuff.
yeah, you also kind of need a secondary reason to go to Vermont, maybe, because maybe, I don't know, I guess you just go for the weekend. You go, you fly up there, you run a marathon on Saturday, come back. I mean, that works, I guess. But like, does Idaho have marathons? I don't know. Somebody needs to tell me, but I don't.
Sure, there's some sort of marathon club there.
You gotta really start seeking these out like pretty desperately, right? Like, because the first couple easy, no problem, but then like the far afield ones, like Alaska is gonna be a little tricky. Yeah, that's gonna be probably gonna be the last one. That's always the last one on anybody's like 50 state list. No matter what the 50 state list is, Alaska's like the end because like it's just way away.
It's a wee bit far away.
Yeah, it's really far. So
yeah, that was her goal. She was always excited about it, and she tried to get other people to do it. And I was like, I can barely run in this state. I don't know how I
can't even run in this state currently.
In other states.
Like this, my body is like when I ran track. Like I would like if they told me to run further than 200 meters, I was like, yo, listen, no. I was like Gimli, right? Like I'm built for sprinting, and that's it, right? I don't want to run anymore. Like that's as far as I want to go. And they try to tell you garbage like, no, 400 meters is a sprint. No, it's not. No, not my book. It's too much.
Yeah,
200 meters, the furthest I ran. Those conditioning days were the worst. They just come out like, you're going to run the cross country course. Oh no, I don't think so. I don't think you understand how sprinting works. Let me understand. Let me talk about this for a minute. I don't need lots of cardiovascular conditioning to run a very short distance. Okay?
Very quickly.
It's a different skill. I don't need to be able to run 6 miles today. No, not doing that. I don't want to do that.
Explains my poor placement whenever I did the mile, because I did the mile, and then for some reason I did the 110 high hurdles and the 300 meter high hurdles, and so I would go and either run the roads, and Coach Scruggs would be like, oh, you're doing distance today. Go run the roads. I'd do that, or I'd spend take up 90% of the practice time setting up the stupid hurdles, doing the stretching and doing those, and then putting the hurdles back.
Well, you did it wrong. See, what you have to do is you put out about 4 hurdles.
Oh, we
just run those
every day until like the day of, or like the day before the race. We'd run all the hurdles, but we mostly did them.
Well, yeah, that.
And then they're like, "All right, go run the mile." I'm like,
those first ones are the most important.
I'm doing sprinting stuff today." And they're like, "No, distance." I'm like, "Oh,
yeah, no, it's a different muscle fiber, like different twitch muscle fibers are happening." And
I didn't run the mile my senior year because I was just focused on doing hurdles. Like, I just remember I was like, "This doesn't feel something like I'm supposed to do. Like I'm either supposed to be one or the other, not both."
Yeah, because the mile's a bit. That's a little too far. Right?
And they collaborated and said, "You're doing the 300 meter high hurdles." I'm like, I can barely do the 110 high hurdles.
Yeah, that wasn't even an event whenever I was doing it. They were like, nobody would do that. So they're like, nah. But yeah, like sprinting, okay, I can run pretty good very shortly. And that's it, right? Like the kids always tease me about my friend, like, she could beat you in a race. And I was like, how long is the race? That's the question. Like if I'm racing her, like from the playground to the door over there, I can beat her.
Right.
If we have to go much further than that, I'm toast. Like I'm done. Like I can't. I can't maintain the speed. Like
Then I'm throwing rocks at her and I'm trying to trip her. And
yes, I will. I'll tackle her. That'll be it. Because that's it. I go about now probably less than 100 meters, but like
50,
it's like
50
my max. Yeah, maybe 60, maybe.
off the line. I got you.
Yeah. So I can. If we go to that door down there, I will win.
Right.
If we have to go past that door, I'm just dead. I'm just gonna fall over.
One of my friends here in Bartlesville, he's a fire captain, and they have a lot of new recruits, and he was telling me about a firefighter, fitness test that they have to do. He's oh man, you should come out and do it. And I was like, nope,
I'm good.
Because I was reading online, and he was telling me all the stuff. And it's like, you have to sprint, but you have to do like weighted sprinting.
Like, yeah, you have to wear fireman gear while sprinting.
So, like I was like, if you asked me that in high school, I could probably do that. But man, I haven't sprinted anywhere in years. I get tired walking in my own apartment. How do you think I'm going to survive if I did this event? And
you gotta get trained for it a little bit. It's not like it still comes back.
And it's like, you could come out and do it. It's like, nope, that will kill me.
That's true. I did that last year during the the map testing, right? Like between sessions, we would go outside and run because we've been sitting for hours. We're going outside. We're running. So we went out and we ran around the baseball field, right? And I made the mistake of running with the kids one day, and I got obviously I was like, that was bad.
Map testing
didn't quite make it all the way around. Close. I mean, I finished. It was not quite as fast as my starting pace indicated.
Yeah. I did some sprinting today. Not in the workout. Megan had to leave
late for your meeting, right?
No, I drug my feet to get into that thing. So I was on our way back from Columbia, and Megan was like, well, I really want to go to this workout at 4:30, but we're supposed to have some dogs picked up around that time. And I said, well, I'll be home ish around that time, so just go ahead and leave and tell the people that are picking up dogs that we'll be a little bit late and they'll just have to deal with it. Well, the lady gets here 5 minutes after Megan leaves, and so I'm booking it on my bike to get here as fast as I can. And I get in the door, she comes in, and we've got 2 Great Danes and 2 lab mutt mixes, and the Great Danes are going home. And so I'm like, okay, sweet. So I run out back, I open the door of the backyard, and I let the 2 labs out. I shut the door, and I come back up, and I'm talking to the lady, and I'm saying, yeah, sorry. Yeah, we had a little tight schedule today, and blah, blah, blah. And about that time, I look out, and the dogs that I just let out in the backyard are now sniffing this lady's car in our front yard. And I'm like, oh, no. So I told the lady, I said, just a minute. I'm still in my bike pleats. And these 2 dogs go pew in different directions, opposite directions. One goes east, one goes west. And I'm freaking out because the ladies who are picking up these dogs is coming very soon to get them.
Yes, and they are, and you don't want her to be driving to your house, see them running down the road. That's not good.
Way, with me behind them. Yeah. And so, fortunately, one of them loops back, and by that time, the owner of the other dogs had walked out into our front yard and was calling that dog close to her. So she got that dog back inside. And the other dog that I was still chasing that was going way in the opposite direction was way out in front of me. And I was nowhere close to this dog. And just a random stranger was walking by and spooked Bailey enough so that Bailey turned and bolted past me. Back towards me, and then past me, back towards the house. And then a car turned, and then Bailey bolted into our backyard and stayed there.
Well, here we go. Luck.
Yes.
Yep.
Sheer dumb luck got both of
Good
those
grief.
dogs back into the house.
Wow.
And it was all because Megan left in a hurry and just didn't think to shut the gate. And I didn't know that she didn't shut the gate, but I had assumed that she did because she knew that dogs were getting picked up. So yeah, lesson learned. I need to check the gate. Yeah.
It's like my first semester at NEO. I got a little off-campus job working at the horse stables because A&M college, and people would I would tend to the horses, tend to the stalls, but the rule was the horses could not be out to the field at night. They had to be in their pen, and so it was been years since I worked with horses, and so I'm out there and I'm trying to get this one horse named Rusty in, and it just opened up the side pen and it just gone. I'm like, oh, it's almost dark, and they get fined pretty heavily if the horse is not in.
Oh no.
And so there's a young college freshman chasing a horse through a field. Put that in your mind for a second. I finally got him in because I was just like, I think the horse sensed that I was just like gassed, and I was like, oh, you're not a threat, because there was just me and the hanging on the fence for my life, just and it just kind of like slowly walked in. I was like, I'm gonna turn you into glue one day. Yeah, it was just like some of the other guys are like, yeah, man, you need to get the horse. And so I got my little lariat and started walking, and it just took off. And then I was like, oh, it's a great idea to chase a horse. And so I take off.
Oh yeah, because they're not known for being fast.
No, not at all.
That's what's nice about. That's what's nice.
Nobody races them.
No.
Or
and it's just this massive field in Miami, Oklahoma, and there's just this wee little college freshman. It's like, no, please come back, horse. It's okay.
Please come back.
It took me about a good 30 minutes to finally get it.
The visual image I have of this is fantastic. I love it so much.
They're just me like hanging on a fence post, just dripping in sweat and gassed, because I wanted to be cool and wear cowboy boots, which are not applicable for sprinting after horsing.
Not sprinting material, no.
Yeah, and so the horse is like, you know what? I'm hungry. Doop doop doop. I'm like, why, you dumb animal? Yeah, I've felt the experience. Nothing like chasing after a Great Dane.
Fortunately, this was not the Great Dane.
But. Oh, good.
Well, you see, the thing about Great Danes is they are actually not known for racing. Nobody's ever said, "Hey, I need to deliver mail across country quickly. I'll use a Great Dane."
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And the owner of the Great Danes is actually very, very chill. The Homer is the big one. He's like 145, 150. And when I try and ride him like a pony, I'm way on my tippy toes, like I'm barely touching. And
good grief.
And yeah, he's a big guy. And the owner basically said he's got a GPS tracker on his collar, so if he starts to pull and you're out and walking him, just let go. Please just let go. We'll find
you across the whole town. Like,
yeah, because both her and her husband had been like dragged for yards before, and like really hurt shoulders and elbows, and like and really, really messed up their arms.
Like Ben-Hur, but with dogs. Like,
imagine you're Ben-Hur, and that's exactly what I feel like when I'm out walking them, because
I don't think everyone's ever uttered that phrase before. Like, Ben-Hur. Imagine you're Ben-Hur. Like, wait a second.
It's fine.
Yeah,
that's
good imagery. Whenever just imagine that.
I thought it fit well with the.
Yep. Yep. He actually we try and walk him by himself and not with anybody else, because he has a specialized harness where it's not just a single clip with the leash on the harness. It actually has a 2-point, so you use more like a bridle in a horse, where he's trained to walk on your left side, and you hold the leash, one in your right arm, one in your left arm, and you turn him that way. You don't
like a plow horse.
like a plow horse. Effectively, is what you're doing. You're walking alongside him and driving him like a plow horse.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Do you show the dog who is dominant that you are going for a walk, not the dog?
Yeah, no.
Caesar Milan style.
No.
Just get him a cart and like load it with many things.
Yeah, like what we used to do with candy.
Yeah, exactly. Now you can be a pack animal. Look at you.
Ta-da.
The useful thing.
That friend who wants to run a
wagon
marathon
right in it
in every state. She has 2 bull mastiffs. Elsie, the
chariot. Chariot is the answer for her.
And Elsa's about like 160 pounds, and then Coda is about close to 200. And the reason she got these dogs, she's like, I wanted them to, be guard dogs. I'm like, well, that's a good dog for the choice, but they don't have a mean bone in their body, like at all. But I'm a big person, and I just remember sitting on the couch of their place. They're having like a New Year's party, and the dog was like, Elsa was just like, you know what? I want on the couch too. And it was like the first time being actually like physically moved by an animal. And she's like, I'm going to sit
obviously.
Here. Yeah. And so like, I'm going to sit here, and then just like, oh no, that's okay. And the dog's like, no, you don't understand. I'm going to sit in your spot, and being like physically pushed out of the way by this small bear of a creature. And she's like, yeah, I don't take them on walks anymore, because for that purpose, she's like, if they want to run, they're going to run. And so she built like this super like heavy industrialized fence for their yard, which is like, it's a big yard. Because she's like, yeah, like if they're going to get out, they're going to get out. But yeah, I think she has them like their collars are tagged. And she's like, I tried taking both of them on a walk one time, and it was like, yeah, another Ben-Hur, if you will, but just like a 2 pack animals, or
I'm envisioning them wearing like those like the plow pulling horse like collar things, right? They like those big things that they drag plows around with. That's what it's like. Here, put this on, dog. Go for a walk.
They're very sweet animals, but they still have that trained instinct of like they'll get in between your legs, like if you're standing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's like the safe position. And I was sitting there at their place one day, and I was just standing talking to a bunch of people. And then Coda, the big bull mastiff, was like, oh, something's going on. I'm going to just like force my way here. And for the rest of the evening, he stood between my legs. And like, if I wanted to walk one there, he's like, oh, we're going to go this way too. And he was my little physical guardian angel.
It's crazy.
It's like, if something goes south, and as the hip people say, I have this small furry tank to protect me. But yeah, I was just like,
about that dog.
I just remember sitting on the couch, and I'm like, no, it's okay, sweetie. I'm gonna sit here. Oh nope, I'm not gonna sit here. Just being pushed out of the way by this 4-legged behemoth. Oh, I miss those dogs. Those are good dogs. But I would totally be okay with having a small dog, because just seeing the medical list for these bull mastiffs was, just astronomical.
Yeah. I mean, also to be fair,
all dogs are like that.
Yeah, all dogs will move you out of their way when you're on the couch. Chuck does that. He's just like, no, I'm sitting here. Move it. And he's a very small dog. He's just like, no, I'm taking up this whole couch. I'm a very small dog. Whole thing. What are you doing? Move. So it's doesn't have anything to do with size, really.
Right.
Yeah. Just sheer determination.
Yes, exactly. Just they claim the couch. Mine. Move. You don't get to sit here anymore.
Yeah. Thanks for keeping it warm for me. Yeah. Oh.
They have dog yoga. You can start, Colin.
They have goat yoga too.
Whoa. What?
Yeah. You can go do yoga with goats, and they'll like stand on you while you do positions and stuff.
But
it's supposed to be more relaxing.
What?
Or something. I'd be worried about it moving on me, but whatever.
Yeah,
I don't really like things standing on me in general.
No, why? It's supposed to be yoga's supposed to be relaxing, not like worried as the massive thing's gonna fall off of you. Like that's weird.
Well, they're small goats, but you know,
Still, it's a goat. Like what?
They're not like the big Damascus goat, but yeah, they're the little bitty ones.
It doesn't matter. Like it's not relaxing. Like doing my yoga pose. Oh, there's a goat on my face. Like what? What is that?
it's pretty awesome.
What on earth?
But yeah, they have dog yoga that you can. People bring their dogs to yoga classes, and there's
more.
Also.
Statistically speaking, there are more yoga poses named after dogs than goats. So at least that makes mild sense.
How many yoga poses do you know that are named after dogs?
I mean, one, which is more than I know they're named after goats. So
Okay. Fair enough.
also, I've heard of warrior dogs. I've never heard of warrior goats. So like, there you go.
Well, Thor had a chariot pulled by goats. They're the thunder goats.
Yes, but he's also a mythological being. Ben-Hur's chariot was definitely pulled by horses. So it's Egyptians weren't going to war with chariots pulled by goats, were they? No, they were not.
They tried it one time and they were like, never again.
Yeah.
What were we thinking?
Yeah.
They accidentally put fainting goats on the end.
This will confuse them.
Philip, what did you do? Philip, really? I told you.
The Persians will never see this coming. Run.
Whenever my kids last year, if they were having like kind of like a rough day, I would pull up YouTube and we'd watch videos of fainting goats. Because weirdly enough, a lot of the kids had never seen like a fainting goat.
I mean,
There was just one day, like I just could tell the vibe in the classroom wasn't going, and I was like, "All right, guys, we're gonna take a break for a second. YouTube fainting goats." And
yeah, I don't think that's. So that's kind of a specialty thing. I don't think most people have just been like exposed to goats that fall over randomly.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
yeah,
unless they watched that one episode of Dirty Jobs like a long time ago on Discovery Channel. That's kind of like the most exposure fainting goats have ever gotten that I'm aware of. I could be wrong about this. I'm not a goat expert by any means. But yeah, so I think judging them be like, yo, they've never heard of fainting goats. That's probably actually the normal response.
Right.
Of
this is also the same.
being in the know is like the weird niche side thing. It's like, what?
This is also the same school district that some of my kids would leave school early to go show their goats during the state fair. But I was like, you guys never heard of fainting goat? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh, comedy gold. Yes.
Well, yeah, because you can't show a fainting goat, right? That's not, you don't want a goat like parading about being all majestic and goatly like, and then it's like fall over. Not, you probably don't get points for that.
Kind of mean.
The points off on the score sheet, right?
They're so cute though.
That's different. I don't think state fair goat judging is like acute. I don't think that's on the list of
Should be.
of criterion. Wait, that's a different argument altogether. I don't think it is currently.
Right.
Right? Like,
But yeah, we'd have videos of fainting goats, and they also didn't know what a Damascus goat was, which is, I understand that one.
Those are terrifying.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the ugliest.
I don't think I know what that is.
Google it real quick.
If
You will
can.
thank me later.
No, you will not thank him later.
Yes,
Once you wake up
no.
tonight from your
You'll be
night
like,
terrors.
Aaron, you'll be, Aaron, you're so awesome. Thank you so much for opening my world to Damascus goat.
And giving you
And-
night terrors for the rest of your life.
Forever.
It's perfect.
Yeah, I think I'm okay. I think I'm perfectly fine being ignorant of goat related things. I
It's
think.
cute in its own way,
No, it's not.
but there's also, they also had this thing, going back to yoga, they also had this thing on campus of this, I think it's called like the sauna yoga, where
Hot
they just,
yoga.
like, hot yoga. Yeah, they just like lock you in a room and just turn the heat up, and they say,
Yes.
all right, do yoga.
Yeah. I saw a thing on the news about that one time, and I thought, wow,
That's
that looks awful.
That's
I
Megan's
don't-
favorite yoga.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yes. Have you met Megan? If she could be wrapped in,
That's true. if it's below, she's like, oh my gosh, it's so cold.
80
Why?
degrees.
yeah, 80 is the point of contention in our household. That's whenever above 80, I start sweating. Below 80 is when she starts walking around in socks. So
Like a sweater.
it is. It
Oh
is.
no.
Yeah, no joke. The other day,
Yeah, that makes sense. That
we-
makes sense.
we were getting ready for dinner, and she's like, "I'm freezing," and she ran over and like wrapped herself from head to toe in this blanket and sat down at the dining room table. And I'm like, "What the heck are you doing?" She's like, "I'm cold." I'm like, "Okay." If you could wrap her up in one of those like foil thermal blankets and then put her inside of a sleeping bag and then put her inside of an oven that's on, light that on fire and then launch it towards the sun, she would probably start feeling just fine. Yeah. So when we got our new car and it had like the split thermostats where you could have like the zone.
Oh, right. The climate zone thing.
And
Yeah.
no joke. Mine is always cranked hard to low, and hers is always to high with the heat seater on. No matter, like, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
Now, to be fair, sometimes I put the seat heater on. I mean, just because it like feels good on my back. I'm like, oh,
Sure.
yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. Then I turn it off because like, holy cow, I'm on fire right now. But like,
Yeah. I
it feels
always
good on your back for a little bit and relax the muscles. Some.
I always have to check to make sure, because there will be at that moment where I have it all set to cold blowing on my face. I'm like, why am I still sweating from every pore in my body? Oh, because Megan drove the car last and the heat is on high.
Yes. No. Well, ours you have to turn it on every time. It doesn't like remember. Well, if it does, I don't know how to make it do that. But that's for the best because I'm.
Yeah, no, this is just a little switch. It's off in the neutral position, up to high, and then all the way down to low.
Oh yeah, ours is a little button on the little screeny thingy.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah.
it's not like a hard switch. I think you probably can set it. I imagine that's an option, but I don't mess with that because I don't.
You need a project. I think you need a project. You need to figure
No,
that-
look, I had to like change the stupid turn signal in that car or the headlight, and that was a project in itself. I had to
Oh,
dig around in there and find all that junk. That was awful. So no, that's enough project. I have many other projects to do. I don't need to mess with settings on my car that I don't care about, especially when it's hot outside.
I
I just want
know.
the air conditioning to be on. That's all I want. Done. Got it.
Ta-da!
But all my kids always come in my classroom too, and they come in and they like look at me and they go, "Can I get my coat?" I'm like, yeah, sure, go get it. It's fine. I don't care. Like, because two things. Once you're in there long enough with like 20 children, it gets hot, so I keep it cold. And then also, y'all stink, so I'm not about to turn the heat up because that's awful.
Ain't nobody want to smell that.
Coming in after recess, all
Constant
sweaty,
battle.
hot classroom. No, I don't think so. Bring a coat. Keep it in your locker. It's fine.
That was a constant battle in my classroom because I always kept it cold.
It's not even that cold. It's like
Yeah.
70 something. It's not even like
Yeah, mine was set like right at 70. It was like, hey, it's cold. I was like, come back from PE. Well, thank me later. I was like, hey,
True.
you guys smell. There's
when you're
many.
running the mile, you'll be
Mhm.
happy when you get back in PE. So
Right.
it's fine.
I mean, I even keep my apartment cold. Like, I prefer the cold. I'm the winter king.
Well, yeah, 'cause
Nah.
it's cozy to have a blanket,
Yeah.
right?
I cannot convince
fine.
Megan of the optimal sleeping where the room temperature is like 68 or colder, and yet you're under all the blankets and you're nice and warm. Megan thinks that's self-defeating, and she's like, if it's going to be cold, if you want to be, she goes, if you're going to be warm under the blankets, just make the room warm, and then you'll be warmer under the blankets. And I'm like, that's not how that works.
No, no. I agree. That's wrong. It's incorrect.
Yeah. So on the nights where upstairs AC was broken and it was just like
No.
it was 83 at night.
Nope.
With
Dead.
the fans on,
Dying.
and she was curled under all the blankets. She was like sleeping under the pillow.
Yeah,
and
she's probably like, yes,
I'm laying there
perfect.
and just like a t-shirt and sweat pouring off of me.
Contemplating, can I put ice in the bathtub and sleep there? Is that possible?
or
Is that a feasible goal?
or really trying for just this one night to levitate. Like, it's just like, can I just levitate? in the air so nothing is touching me. I just want to levitate this one time. Yeah. I didn't levitate. I just sweated to
It's
sleep.
disappointing. I'm sorry. Sorry for your suffering.
So bad. Oh.
Oh no.
The only time I have like an issue with stuff like that is if I'm at like a friend's house and they're like, oh hey, you can sleep on the couch. I'm like, oh no problem. But they never have adequate blankets. And here at my place, I have big blankets. I'm a very big, tall person. So I have big blankets. They have those stupid little couch blankets.
I like the throws that are
that are
they're like
little napkins. And they're like
4 feet, 4 feet maximum blanket. Like, oh no.
Yeah, they gave me
What
like
to do.
2 of those. And they're like, all right, good night. I'm like, no. Like the fan's on. It's
So you got to turn them diagonally. You get a longer blanket that way.
Even
And then you can cover a foot and the other.
I mean, that's true. I mean, it's not optimal for sleeping. For sitting on the couch, it's fine,
yeah.
right?
But that's
'Cause you
all
can
I
turn
have,
diagonal and like just hang out on the couch and be like, yes, this is now nice.
Yeah.
With sleeping, I agree because you like pull it up. I like to have things over my shoulders, right? And so if you do that, you're like, and now my feet are exposed and I'm freezing to death because I can't. If my feet get cold, I'm done. I'm done for. I'm just catching up with. See if I can schedule my internet to have a better connection so it stops being all weird sounding. That'd be nice.
Yeah, what'll be interesting is whenever I listen back to this and start, putting it back together, if I hear any of that on your side.
Yeah, that would be interesting because my screen flashed at me once that my connection was not stable. So
no.
I don't know what that means because my little thing down in the corner is like, yep, everything's good. So that's really weird.
Well, I think you've sounded good on my end at least. I think there's been one time where it got a little robarity, and then that was the only time. So
yeah,
I don't know.
So we'll see. We'll see how it is because you've been sounding insane the whole time, so it's very difficult. But
sorry.
It's not your fault. I think it's my internet is just like, I'm not going to work today and be grumpy. So
sure.
Well, as long as it comes through that way, it should be fine.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I have to see what on earth. My internet's garbage, so I don't know.
Oh no.
Like barely functions most days, so I don't even know what.
Yeah.
Why? Rural Missouri internet's the best. I open. Okay, every single time I go to my phone to open the calendar, I open the stupid calculator. It's right next to it. It's the same color icon. And I always, because I use the calculator the most.
Oh, no.
And my muscle memory is like calculator. And I look at it and go, that is the least helpful thing in my life right now. I do not need.
These are numbers, but not the ones.
Yeah, I know, but I need the stupid calendar. I don't want the calculator. Get out. The worst. I do it literally every time. my muscle memory is just like, boom, I need this blue icon. No, I need the blue icon right next to it. Right,
the other blue.
This is the one time a week when I open it, probably. And it's like, my finger's still like, nope, calculator. You want this calculator right now. Or the clock. The clock is right above it because I use that at school for my a timer all the time, right? Mm-hmm. For like wait time stuff. Okay, I'm gonna give you a minute before I ask for responses. Blam.
Right. Yeah.
None of that is the calendar. So anyway, 20th, 21st, okay.